November month, I had gone to India for my own vacation. Can you hear me? That was the German people are really sweet.
And here you can see my Hören oder Lesen.
Hallo Leute, herzlich willkommen. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this video is going to be completely in English because I thought it might be useful for many people, not only for Tamilians. So for the people who don't know me, I'm Grace. I've been living in Germany since 2021, and after coming here I started learning German. As you have already seen my thumbnail, I have passed my Deutsch Prüfung. This is German exam with very good marks. So I thought of sharing the things that I followed and the steps I did after coming here for learning German that were really helpful for me to achieve good marks. Before going into the video, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm coming up with a lot of good ideas and content for you guys, which are very useful and informative. So stay tuned and don't forget to share the videos with your friends and family. Let's get into the video. So I'll be sharing 5 most important tips that I followed after coming to Germany to learn German, which helped me to really learn the language real fast, and within 1 year I was able to get good marks in B1 exam, which I really thought I wouldn't be able to achieve, but fortunately. So yeah, I'll tell the tips later. I'll first explain step by step what I did after coming to Germany. Okay, so after coming to Germany, we got to go to the government office that's in every part of Germany, in every city of Germany. So where I'm currently living is Ettlingen. So in Ettlingen city, we had to go to the government office. So in my husband's case, he had a job before coming to Germany. So, but it doesn't matter if you have a job or not, you need to attend the school. So every expat coming to Germany will receive a form for integration course. That's German integration course. So we had to go to the government office and we received the form from the authority, and they said you need to learn the language. That's very important. So in my case, I had no job, but they said you need to attend the course and get a certificate. But for my husband, he works, so he had no time to go to school and attend the course. But then that's no problem for the government office. But for me, in my case, when I have no job, the government office once in a while monitors and sees with the school whether I'm attending the course, how well I'm doing with the exams, the model test and everything. So that's one side. So that's step 1. You'll receive the form for integration course. So I got an appointment with the school that I need to attend. I went to the school. My first appointment was with the chefin, with the head of the school. So she asked me how have I learned German before, and she said like I'll give a small test for you because we have step 1. So in Germany, for German language, we have different levels. If you see A1, A2, B1, B2 and C1, C2. So we have 6 levels of language module here. So if you see, A1 is for people who really don't have any idea about the language. But then if you know certain words, like if you can really understand what others are speaking, even though if you cannot answer them, and I think you can pass A1 level. But then I took the test, and I was in the level where I was able to understand people, but then I could not answer them very well because my speaking was not good enough to converse with people who are living in Germany. But then what happened was I took the test, and the test is like, for example, I'll explain you. I had 60 questions. So if you get 10 to 20, it means you are eligible for A1. Like you need to anyway start from A1, but not in the beginning, from the beginning of A1, but in the middle, like from the middle of A1 course. If you get 20 to 30, then it is like you can start from the beginning of A2 course. If you get 30 to 40, you can start from the middle of A2. So something like that. So I got something around 37 or 38, and she said like you don't have to start your course from the beginning of A2, A2, but luckily you can start from the middle of A2. For example, A2, the complete time for course is 3 to 4 months. So when she says from the middle of A2, I can start from the second month or the third month of A2 course. So that was my case. So she said like, you don't have to start from A1. You are good enough to start from the middle of A2. So I was like, okay, fine. And then she gave me the date when I need to join the course, the time and everything. But since I had no job, the course time is from 8 o'clock in the morning till 12:30 till 1 p.m. So I was like, I had no problem because I had enough time to sit and learn the language, because I realized without the language, you cannot achieve anything here, because you need to learn the language to even, when you need to converse with your neighbor, or when you need to purchase something in a shop, you really need to learn the language, because English, very, very few people speak English here, and that was my case. So I attended the course from, I think, July. August is vacation, school vacation. So the whole August month I didn't have any course. So July, September, October. But you know what? November was my last month, and December 10th I have my exam. But what happened was, November month I had gone to India for my own vacation, and I had not attended the course, the classes in the whole November, which gave me so much of fear in heart that I was so scared to even attend the exam. I was even double-minded whether I need to take up the exam, because if I fail, that's like so heartbreaking. And I thought like, okay, I'll give a try. But trust me, the exam was so easy, and by God's grace I was able to get good marks. I can show you my results now, and then further I'll explain you, and then I'll give you the tips that I really follow to achieve these points. Okay,
So here you can see Zertifikat Deutsche Test für Zuwanderer. Zuwanderer is an expat. So here you can see Hören oder Lesen, that's my part 1. Schreiben is writing, that's my part 2. And Sprechen is my part 3. Here you can see for hearing I got 43 out of 45. Schreiben, writing, I got full points. And for Sprechen is speaking, I got 97 out of 100. And here you can see B1 sehr gut erfüllt, that's fulfills very good. So B1, B1, yeah.
So as you have already seen my certificate, you would have seen there Hören oder Lesen. Hören oder Lesen. Hören is hearing. So in the test we have 3 parts, 3 parts. So the first one is Hören oder Lesen. Hören is hearing or reading. Hören oder Lesen. And the second part is Schreiben. Schreiben is writing. I'll further explain what this is all about. And the third one is speaking. So in hearing, you will not get a particular or individual headset for yourselves. So there will be an examiner waiting there, playing the general conversation between how can I say, a house owner and between a house owner and tenant, or something a random conversation, and you will have a number of questions to answer, and you have to keenly listen to these questions or these conversation, and then you have to answer your questions. So this is the Hören part. But luckily, Lesen is also like, you will get choices like A, B, C or D. In Hören, you have a different part where, falsch oder stimmt oder falsch, like true or false. So you have to listen to the conversation very well, that you will have 4 or 5 choices, like 5 statements, where like it's like kind of tricky. You need to keenly listen to the conversation and read the statement and mark which one is true, or you'll have one statement and you have to say whether it's true or false. So that's like complete hearing. The second part that I had to attend was Schreiben. So in Schreiben, you'll have completely different varieties of questions, but for me, you'll just have one letter to write, one brief to write. So the first or second, you have to choose A or B. The question I got for A was like, from your class, some lady gave birth to some girl gave birth to a baby. So you are inviting your classmates, or you are asking your friends or your classmates whether you all can go and congratulate her with a gift or something like that. So that's like kind of an invitation letter. So that was my first question. And or B was like, you had a problem with your house and you need to inform your house owner, or something was like you had a problem with your park place, and you have to inform or write to your house owner. So I selected the first one, that I wrote it like she was my friend who gave birth to a baby, so I want to congratulate her. Are you guys interested to come with me? And where are we meeting? And blah 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 blah. And what are we bringing to make her happy, or some gift for the baby, or blah 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 blah. I wrote something like that, and that was my writing part. And the third part was what was that? That was speaking. So in speaking also you'll have two parts in speaking. So you'll have two examiners sitting in front of you. So you'll also be called as two people at a time, not individual. You'll have another person with you. So they will show so the first part is like, basically they'll show you a picture and they'll ask like, what do you see in the picture, and what else you see, what's going on around you, or like for example, if you see a person with a bicycle, you can say that he is about to cross a road and it looks like, you always have to say that it looks like, or I believe, or I think. You cannot say that he is going or he is doing something like that. That's wrong. So you need to be very keen in these things. So yeah, you'll get to see a picture and you have to describe what you see from the picture. And the second tile is, they'll tell you a situation, and I told you you'll have a partner, and you need to speak with your partner. They'll just check that how well you can continuously speak fluently speak in English, in German, and also if you are speaking very fastly, and if you are done with your conversation, I noticed that they have other questions for you as well. For example, in my situation, we spoke in a couple of minutes, we were done, and we are looking at the examiner like, what are we supposed to do now? And the examiner were like, okay, so where do you come from? I was like, I come from India. So tell me about your country and a major difference that, or a culture shock that you had to undergo after coming to Germany, and these things she asked. So you need to be prepared for anything there, anything and everything. So that was my third part. So this was my exam, German exam, TELC. TELC is European language, the European language certificates, TELC test. So that was about my test in Deutschland, Germany. Now let's see what are the tips I followed to get these good points in my Deutsch Prüfung. To-do! Tip number 1. If you are new in Germany, or if you are in any other country who are trying to learn German, trust me, first try to listen to German music, or try to watch some German movies, because sometimes you get to hear the right and correct pronunciation of the words. In German, pronunciation is way more important than anything else. It's like in any other language, but then in German the pronunciation is very tough. For me it was very tough to learn, because for example, I'm telling you, the CH is can you hear me? That was quite funny. So for example, we have a place here named Busenbach. So for example, when I saw the name first, I was like Busenbach. In English, if you try to pronounce the word, it's Busenbach. B-U-S-E-N-B-A-C-H. It's Busenbach. It's not k, it's it's like, you know, you're trying to spit. From my country in India, people who are trying to spit will do that, something like that. So that was quite funny. But then how I learned the name, I was on the train, and then one day the automatic voice says like, the next halt ist Busenbach. I was like, what kind of sound is that? Then every time I travel through that way, I always listen. When I get to, you know, hear for the next stop, Busenbach, I'll be like waiting. When I hear it will be like Busenbach. The pronunciation in German is way too important. And Z, for example, Z, what do we have with Z in English? It is quite easy to pronounce Z in English, but in German, the word with Z is, you have a T before Z. You don't exactly have a T, but you have to read it like you have, that's like imaginary. If you have a T in front before Z, how do you read it? For example, police. Police in German is Polizei. P-O-L-I-Z-E-I. So I used to say like Polizei. That it was like, for example, for my neighbor, it was like, what? I cannot understand what you are saying. I was like, Polizei. No, I can really not understand what you are saying. But then later, I learned the word. It's like Polizei. You have to literally push the Z, T-Z. Polizei. So the pronunciation in German is really, really important. So for that, the tip number 1 is, it's good if you listen to the German music that's not too fast, with good lyrics. A good song with good lyrics, with good pronunciation. When you hear, you get to practice, and you get to, you know, you'll automatically get the right pronunciation as well. And also the German movie. That's my tip number 1. Tip number 2. If you're going to a supermarket in Germany, for example, you always get to see everything in German. Trust me, don't write everything or translate everything in English, and don't go in a mindset of, you know, for example, Hähnchen. Chicken is Hähnchen. If you go there, if you think chicken is Hähnchen, you will see Hühner. Hühner is auch, Hühner is also chicken. So try to, you know, read all the words you see in German when you go to the supermarket. There you'll get to learn all words in German. When you see, don't think like, that's butter, that's chicken, that's egg, that's lamb. No, read everything in German and put the words in your head, and, you know, later you might be in the process of forgetting English. I am in the process of forgetting English because my mother tongue is not English. My mother tongue is Tamil. So I learned English only in school. I never had the chance to speak English in my house, or after coming here, I don't have a chance to speak English with anyone here. Trust me, I don't speak English with anyone. So, you know, you might forget a few words in English as well. You know, that's the worst situation. So my number 2 tip is, when you go out in Germany to a supermarket, to a Kleidung, to a cloth shop, or you know, anywhere, try to always get adapted to the German words, but not only in English. Okay, that's my tip number 2. Tip number 3. If you are in Germany, please try to get some friends. I totally understand that you come from a different country, but you know what? Try to get some friends, especially German friends. The German people are really sweet. You might have heard like about the people that they are so strange, they are so strict, they are so punctual. Above all, they are so sweet. When you also talk, you know, something wrong in public, or when you are in the supermarket, or when you're trying to talk something and you spelled, or when you said your pronunciation is kind of funny, they don't literally laugh at you. You know, that is something very sweet about them. They don't laugh at you. They will giggle and they'll say, and oh, that's so sweet, you're trying to learn German, but that's no problem. But the word is not correct. The correct pronunciation is this. yes, they'll teach you. They are so sweet and helpful. So the Germans are really good. They are so hilfreich is, so they have huge helping mind, that's my tip number 4 is very important, which I really saw and learned. So my tip number 4 is try to speak in German. It doesn't matter if you're speaking it wrong, pronouncing it wrong. It doesn't matter when you go out, when you are in a supermarket, when you are in a mall, or when you are in a need to talk with somebody, talk in German. When somebody is asking you, when a German is asking you, German or English, never say English. Please come out of your comfort zone. I was so scared initially because I was having that fear in heart, like, what would they think? Like, if I talk something bad, or if I'm pronouncing something bad, will they laugh at me? Or what would they think? Oh, this girl came to another country and don't even know the language. Would they think like that? But trust me, they'll appreciate you for learning their language, really. So try to talk always in German. My tip number 5. If you have a habit of writing diary every day, or if you have a habit of texting someone, try to do it in German. What I'm trying to say is try to write the language, because, in English, the capital letters and small letters, it's quite easy in English, because in every sentence, the first letter is in caps and every other letter is in small, except for the title or something that you caption it. But in German it's not the case. Every letter with the article should be in capital letters, and also you have many rules that the comma, full stop and everything. And if you are living in Germany with your partner, and if your partner is learning German, try to speak in German. And also try, when you are quite chatting in WhatsApp or doing something, always write and try to learn German this way. That's my point number 5. So I think these tips would be really useful for you guys as well. I'm so happy by sharing what I learned and what I did here to, learn the language. I wish the guys who are trying to learn the language all the best, and, a lot of luck. Try your best, it is not quite tough to, achieve good points. All the best. And also I wish you guys a great week ahead, and I'll see you soon in another video. Ciao.